series contains fictional content intended for entertainment purposes only. The scenes depicted, including any blood or injuries, are part of a fantasy setting and are not meant to shock or disturb viewers. All characters, events, and settings are purely fictional. Viewer discretion is advised.
Gabrielle strutting confidently through the bustling aisles of a new shopping center, eyes scanning for the perfect swimsuit. She meticulously picks up different pieces, examining them with a calculating gleam in her eye. A shadow approaches her from behind. Nimue, her classmate and occasional partner in mischief, catches her attention. Nimue's lips twist into a knowing smile as she glances at Gabrielle's chosen swimsuits, a sleek black one-piece and a vibrant red bikini that barely conceals anything.
Going all out, are we?
Gabrielle smirks, clutching the bikinis closer.
If I'm going to the pool, I might as well make it a memorable experience. After all, I have a certain someone to impress.
Nimue raises an eyebrow, immediately realizing that Gabrielle's sights are set on Annabelle. She contemplates her own brewing resentment toward Annabelle and Paris's relationship. Seeing an opportunity, she leans in, lowering her voice.
Well, Gabrielle, how about we work together? I'll help you. Make Annabelle see that Paris isn't all she thinks she is.
Gabrielle's smile widens, but she eyes Nimue cautiously. Nimue extends a hand, sealing their alliance. Her handshake is firm, bordering on aggressive, and Gabrielle feels a strange chill run through her. For a brief moment, she sees a glimpse of Nimue's true nature, the bully, lurking beneath her friendly facade.
Fine. Let's shake things up.
In every anime, there comes that one special episode where our heroes get a break from the usual battles and challenges. That's right, it's time for the swimsuit episode. But with our gang, nothing's ever just relaxing, splashing in the water, and relaxing on towels. With occasional hints that Gabrielle might have a hidden agenda, a day off, and maybe, just maybe, a hidden secret waiting to be discovered. Stay tuned for A Day in Paradise.
They walk off together, their laughter echoing ominously as they finalize their plans. Annabelle, Paris, Shino, and Nayah arrive at the indoor swimming pool, marveling at the pristine, glassy waters and the shimmering skylights above. The atmosphere is lighthearted and joyful as couples and friends chat and play in the water. Annabelle clutches her towel shyly, glancing at Paris, who is already sporting a sleek, deep blue swimsuit that hugs her figure perfectly. Annabelle's face flushes as she takes in the sight, struggling to keep her composure.
Wow, Paris, you look stunning.
Paris laughs, reaching over to gently touch Annabelle's cheek.
Oh, Annabelle, you're too sweet. Are you sure you're okay? You look a bit red.
Annabelle stammers, nodding furiously, while Paris laughs, clearly amused. Nearby, Nayah wraps herself tightly in her towel, teeth chattering as she watches the others.
I didn't think indoor pools were supposed to be this cold. Maybe I'll just sit this one out and warm up over here.
She huddles at the edge of the pool, sighing as she watches her friends splash around. Despite her chill, she smiles at the sight of Annabelle and Paris enjoying themselves, giving them space to spend time together. Annabelle and Paris make their way into the pool, wading through the shallow end as Annabelle tries to gather her nerves. But just as she's beginning to relax, a burst of loud laughter catches her attention. She turns to see Gabrielle and Nimue, both of them dressed in striking swimsuits that flaunt their figures. Gabrielle in her red bikini, and Nimue in a dark, daring one-piece with intricate cutouts. They saunter over, confidently splashing as they enter the water near Annabelle and Paris.
Oh, Annabelle, didn't think I'd see you here. Looks like we're all having a fun little pool day.
Hope we're not distracting you too much.
Gabrielle and Nimue exchange glances, giggling as they strike exaggerated poses. Annabelle's face turns crimson as she feels their mocking gazes on her, the sudden attention from her rivals overwhelming her. She tries to look away, focusing on Paris, but her nerves get the better of her. Paris, sensing Annabelle's discomfort, wraps a protective arm around her.
Come on, Annabelle. Let's ignore them.
But Gabrielle and Nimue aren't ready to back down. Nimue subtly nudges Gabrielle, and they move closer to Annabelle, splashing more water toward her. The playful yet taunting gestures are too much for Annabelle, who feels her heart race as the world spins around her. Suddenly, she sways and collapses, fainting in Paris's arms.
Annabelle? Hey, are you okay?
Nayah, from her spot at the poolside, rushes over, her towel still wrapped around her.
What happened? Is she all right?
Paris gently supports Annabelle, who slowly regains consciousness. She blinks up at Paris and Nayah, feeling humiliated and flustered.
I'm fine. Just got a bit dizzy.
While Paris and Nayah tend to Annabelle, Shino, who has been enjoying himself on a float in the shallow end, accidentally loses his balance. As he flails, he slips off the float and is suddenly carried into the deeper part of the pool by an unexpected wave created by a group of boisterous kids splashing nearby. Shino, who never learned to swim, panics as he's separated from the group.
Guys? Little help here?
Nayah, hearing his faint voice, glances over and immediately spots him struggling in the deeper water. She quickly releases Annabelle's hand and dives in to help.
Hang on, Shino. I'm coming.
Nayah swims quickly toward him, while Annabelle watches anxiously from the poolside, still recovering from her fainting spell. Annabelle, now somewhat recovered, sits on a towel at the edge of the pool with Paris beside her. Shino, still shaken from his near drowning, clings to a noodle float nearby, and Nayah keeps close to the pool's edge, dipping her toes but refusing to go fully in. Just when it feels like the drama is over, Gabrielle and Nimue stroll by once again. This time, their approach is quieter, more menacing. Gabrielle fixes Annabelle with an intense look, her voice low enough that only Annabelle and Paris can hear.
You know, Annabelle, Paris deserves someone who isn't so delicate. Fainting. Getting worked up over nothing, it's embarrassing, don't you think?
Paris gives Gabrielle a glare but remains calm, putting a reassuring hand on Annabelle's shoulder.
Gabrielle, maybe if you focused more on your own relationships, you wouldn't need to interfere in mine.
Gabrielle's eyes narrow, but Nimue pulls her back, whispering something in her ear that only intensifies Gabrielle's scowl. As they walk off, Nimue glances back, giving Annabelle a look that chills her to the bone. She mutters something under her breath, and for a split second, Annabelle could swear the pool's temperature drops noticeably, sending a shiver through her. Nayah, sensing the tension, slides closer to Annabelle and Paris.
I don't know what they're up to, but I don't like it. They've been acting strange all day.
Annabelle, a bit rattled, squeezes Paris's hand. She tries to shake off her nerves, but a gnawing feeling tells her Gabrielle and Nimue aren't done yet. After a while, Shino convinces everyone to join him in the deeper end of the pool, where there's a diving platform. Paris and Annabelle reluctantly agree, figuring they can keep a close eye on him. The group gathers by the diving boards, watching as Shino, despite his lack of swimming skill, clambers onto the platform and prepares to jump. Annabelle, Paris, and Nayah cheer him on, hoping to boost his confidence. Shino grins nervously and prepares to leap, when suddenly, Gabrielle and Nimue reappear, this time right behind him on the platform.
A little dive, huh, Shino? Are you sure you're ready for it?
Shino hesitates, glancing back at the two girls towering behind him.
Don't be scared. Here, let us help.
Before anyone can react, Gabrielle gives him a gentle push. Shino yelps and falls into the water, splashing wildly. Annabelle and Paris gasp, and Nayah rushes forward, her eyes wide.
Gabrielle, what's wrong with you? He can't swim well.
Gabrielle laughs, shrugging nonchalantly as she jumps off the platform herself. landing gracefully beside Shino, who's desperately splashing to keep himself afloat. Nimue watches from the platform, laughing with twisted amusement. Annabelle, furious, dives in to reach Shino, who is struggling. The water churns with a frantic movement as Annabelle pulls Shino back toward the edge. Paris and Nayah help him out, draping a towel over his shoulders as he shivers, shaken.
That wasn't funny.
Gabrielle swims up to the edge, resting her arms on the side, looking entirely unbothered.
Relax, Shino. You're fine.
I've had enough of your fun, Gabrielle. If you can't control yourself, maybe you should leave.
Gabrielle's smile fades, and she fixes Paris with a glare, her expression unreadable for a moment. Nimue, still on the platform, tilts her head, smirking.
Guess we'll see who's really in control soon enough.
As dusk settles, the pool area begins to clear out. Only a few stragglers remain, and Annabelle and her friends try to unwind from the day's tensions, keeping a wary eye on Gabrielle and Nimue, who are lingering near the pool's far end. Suddenly, a lifeguard calls out from the entrance.
Closing up in 10 minutes, everyone. Start packing up.
Relieved, Annabelle and Paris get out of the pool, helping Shino and Nayah gather their things. But just as they're about to head toward the exit, they hear Gabrielle's voice ring out.
Wait, Annabelle, come over here for a second.
Annabelle hesitates, looking back at Paris, who gives her a supportive nod. Reluctantly, she walks back toward Gabrielle, who is waiting by the edge of the pool, Nimue standing silently beside her, with an odd, focused gaze.
You think you're safe just because Paris is around? Let's see what happens when you don't have her by your side.
Before Annabelle can react, Nimue mutters something under her breath. Suddenly, the pool lights flicker, casting eerie shadows across the water. Annabelle's heart skips a beat as she senses a strange, almost supernatural chill in the air. She tries to back away, but Nimue's eyes flash with a malevolent gleam. Gabrielle reaches out, grabbing Annabelle's wrist firmly, her grip uncomfortably tight.
Why don't you stick around a little longer, Annabelle?
The lights around the pool go out entirely, plunging the room into darkness. The faint glow of the emergency lights casts an eerie glow, and Annabelle pulls against Gabrielle's grip, fear surging through her.
Gabrielle, what are you doing?
A chilling silence fills the air, broken only by Gabrielle's soft, unsettling laughter.
Don't worry, Annabelle. This is just the beginning.
Annabelle's wide-eyed face, her hand trapped in Gabrielle's grip, while Nimue's sinister smile lingers in the shadows. Annabelle faint once again from a spell.
I'm in love with the princess. Like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Now back to the episode.
The day after the pool incident, Annabelle walks into her classroom, hoping for a normal day. She finds Paris, Shino, and Nayah already seated, their familiar faces comforting. But as she exchanges a quick smile with Paris, Ms. Hina enters, followed by a girl with striking feature-slong dark hair, a confident stance, and piercing eyes. Annabelle freezes. It's Gabrielle Hitler, her ex-girlfriend.
Everyone, we have a new student joining us today. Please welcome Gabrielle Hitler.
Gabrielle's gaze sweeps over the class until it lands on Annabelle, her lips curving into a smirk. Annabelle tenses, her mind flashing back to their complicated past.
Hey, everyone. It's nice to be here.
Paris, sitting close to Annabelle, stiffens. Shino and Nayah exchange glances, sensing the tension.
Gabrielle, you can sit next to Annabelle for today. She'll be showing you around after class.
Gabrielle takes her seat next to Annabelle, leaning over and whispering.
Surprised, Annabelle? You look a little pale.
Paris narrows her eyes, annoyed by Gabrielle's forwardness. She and Nayah give each other determined looks, silently agreeing to keep an eye on her. Gabrielle wastes no time in stirring things up. She casually brings up memories with Annabelle, each story designed to make her squirm.
Annabelle, remember that time we snuck out and...
Annabelle flushes, torn between embarrassment and irritation. Nayah tries to deflect Gabrielle's attention, leaning in with a forced laugh.
Oh, Annabelle's too busy for that kind of thing now. She's all about wholesome stuff.
Paris, unable to hide her irritation, speaks up with a steely edge in her voice.
Gabrielle, maybe you should focus on getting to know the rest of the class. Annabelle doesn't owe you a tour.
Gabrielle's smirk only deepens, amused by Paris's protectiveness. She leans closer to Annabelle, her voice barely a whisper.
Oh, I don't mind a little rivalry.
As soon as class ends, Gabrielle practically drags Annabelle out of the classroom, eager for their reunion tour. Paris and Nayah are right on their heels, both determined to stick by Annabelle's side.
So, Annabelle, still as adventurous as ever? Or has life here tamed you? I'm just trying to keep up with school.
If you're here to start trouble, Gabrielle, you'll have to go through me first.
Gabrielle only chuckles, clearly relishing the challenge. As the tour wraps up, Annabelle is grateful to escape the encounter, but remains anxious about Gabrielle's presence at school. Walking home, Annabelle tries to shake off the morning's events, but she's caught off guard when a mysterious woman steps into her path. The woman's intense gaze and familiar features make Annabelle's heart race.
Annabelle.
The woman's voice is rich, tinged with a dark familiarity. Annabelle realizes, with a shock, who she's seeing.
Are you my mother? Yes, I am Kurumi Lilitu.
Annabelle stares, struggling to process the sudden appearance of her long-lost mother. Kurumi's gaze is intense, filled with equal parts sadness and determination.
But you disappeared. Where have you been all this time?
Kurumi hesitates, a shadow crossing her face.
Your father and I had a falling out. He couldn't accept my decisions, so I left.
Annabelle feels a surge of anger, hurt, and confusion.
So, you just left us.
Kurumi's expression darkens.
It wasn't that simple, Annabelle. There are things I did to survive, things that your father will never understand. I'm living in a special area now, a place for those he's banished.
Before Annabelle can respond, an unsettling memory flashes through her mind. An image of Paris, or someone who looked like her, laying motionless. She stumbles back, horrified.
Did you kill her? A version of Paris? There are actions I regret. But I'm here now. I want to help you understand.
Annabelle, shaken, watches Kurumi vanish into the shadows, leaving her more confused than ever. Back at school, Annabelle's still haunted by her encounter with Kurumi. Just as she tries to focus, Ms. Hina makes an announcement.
A reminder, parent-teacher interviews are starting. Please direct your parents to the front desk.
Annabelle's heart skips a beat. Would her father, Satan, appear? And, given her recent encounter with Kurumi, would she dare show up as well? As the interviews begin, Annabelle spots Satan's imposing figure in the hallway, his dark aura casting a shadow over the room. Her heart sinks as she realizes her father has arrived, but before she can process his presence, she notices another unusual pair entering the school. A tall man with a top hat and an eccentric grin strides in, exuding both charm and chaos. It's none other than Paris's father, the Mad Hatter himself, accompanied by none other than the sinister-looking Cinderella stepsisters, who appear equally invested in the meeting. Paris sees her father and the stepsisters and cringes, turning to Annabelle.
My dad insisted on coming. And, well, he brought them along.
The Mad Hatter strides over, extending a hand toward Annabelle with a flourish.
Ah, you must be Paris's dear friend, Annabelle, the one she speaks of so highly.
Annabelle shakes his hand awkwardly, glancing at the stepsisters, who give her icy, disdainful looks.
Is this the girl?
I don't see what all the fuss is about. She doesn't look nearly as enchanting as Paris described.
Annabelle shifts uncomfortably, glancing at Paris, who glares at the stepsisters. Meanwhile, Satan's dark, powerful presence fills the room as he steps closer to Annabelle, fixing her with an intense gaze. The Mad Hatter, sensing the heavy atmosphere, offers a nervous laugh.
Oh, Paris, dear, you should have told me we'd be in such esteemed company.
Satan's gaze shifts from Annabelle to the Mad Hatter, sizing him up with mild disinterest. Kurumi then enters the room, catching Satan's eye, and tension crackles between them. Paris's eyes widen as she realizes the volatile mix of personalities in the room.
Wonderful! Just the family reunion I wanted.
As the teachers move to start the interviews, the palpable tension hangs in the air, with everyone eyeing one another warily.
Perhaps next time we can bring a bit of whimsy to this. Something to liven the mood.
But Paris is already on edge, watching as her father banters awkwardly with Satan, who barely tolerates his antics, and the stepsisters exchange sneers with Kurumi. Annabelle glances at Paris, her heart pounding as she realizes the impending storm that this parent-teacher meeting promises to bring. Between Satan's intense scrutiny, Kurumi's dark past, and the Mad Hatter's eccentricities, it's clear that Secret Sand possibly conflicts are about to erupt.
Hey fans, it's Hanako here. Thank you all for watching episode 3 of I'm in Love with the Princess. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you, and feel free to share this video with anyone who might enjoy it too. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.